Hello, hello. We are live, and I'm joined by the infamous Frenchman that is Thomas Carré. And the reason why we have Thomas on today is because you may have seen on Twitter he posted a very sexy website that he was nominated for an award on the awards website. And he used a little bit of custom code using the power of Slater. And I was like, we got to get this guy on and understand a little bit more about him and how he's using Slater to level up his Webflow projects. So Thomas, welcome to I was about to say the Webflow podcast. Welcome to Slater.
Soon.
Good thing that I know what I'm doing. So thanks so much for joining us today. And you are in London right now. You are probably a bit hungover after Webflow conference. Is that right?
A little bit, but I'm okay. I got a bit sick.
Okay, you're surviving. Yeah, a little bit sick. Yeah, that's how I would describe it to my parents as well. So how was Webflow Conf? Just give us a high-level overview. What went down?
Yeah, just first of all, thank you for inviting me. Oh, shit. I just got disconnected.
Yeah, all good.
Yeah, you hear me? You still hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you good.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, just thank you for inviting me on this podcast interview. And the Webflow Conf was amazing. We met amazing people. I met the Spline team, met the Refocus, all the Webflow team. Everything was good. I met for the first time the French community because we all know each other on the social like Twitter or like LinkedIn. I'm quite active on LinkedIn, so I knew the pictures of the guy in front of me, but I didn't know if he's the same guy on Twitter I saw before. That was fun. I was like, that's you. That's Hafiz from Twitter, right? Oh yeah, okay. And we showed the Twitter picture. That was fun.
Yeah, dude, everyone's Twitter is like how I identified them at Webflow Conf. It was so weird. I was like, you look exactly like your Twitter icon. And
Yeah.
people were like, right, who is this guy? But yeah, it's funny to see the real life version of these people from online.
It was a guy. His name is Felix. He's a French guy, but he's living in Finland for maybe 15 years now. And I met him. And I was like, I'm pretty sure I know you, but I'm not sure. And he just take the phone and turn on me and show his pictures, his Twitter picture, and oh yes, that's you. Okay.
It's really funny when you're like, you feel like you know someone, and then actually they have no idea who you are. I found sometimes because I was like, oh hey, and they're just like, who are you? Have we met? I'm like, oh, this is embarrassing.
I try sometimes to show my PP from Twitter, but I'm not famous enough. So someone see my picture and say, oh yeah, I see you on Slater app. You're gonna show us how you make the website, right? Yeah, that's me. Yes. So I'm not famous enough, but it will be in the future, right?
Hey, now you've done this stream, you'll walk down the street and people will be like, no way, Thomas, and you'll be like, yeah, because
I have the same hat from yesterday.
Streams. Oh, cool, nice. I love it. No, but dude, you are on the way up, I feel, and this website is part of that journey. You know, you're clearly getting more and more confident as a webflower and doing great things in the space. And then to connect with other webflowers, obviously a lot of French webflowers came to the London Webflow Conf, so that's awesome too. And if anyone's wondering what the hell, what is this website that we're going to have a little look at today? What I might do is just share the screen and just quickly show them. I've also put it in the chat, guys. So if you want to just have a look in your own time, that's also cool. But we've got this really cool little opening animation. And then we've got the book. So Thomas, do you want to speak through, do you want to talk through the website a little bit and just kind of give us a feel of what it's about and
Yeah, sure.
and yeah, how you did it?
Yeah, I'm gonna share my screen.
Oh yeah, sure, that's probably better. Shall
I got a little bit laggy here. I don't know if it's gonna work fine.
We can hear you well. While you're getting that up, I'll just say hi to some people in the chat. We've got Nimesh, we've got Jeff,
Yeah.
Hippolyte, beautiful name, Dio Roland, French Webflow supporters in the house. Great to have you all with us. If you guys have any questions during this live stream, feel free to ask away, because I will be, looking at that, asking the odd question. And you are now sharing your screen, Thomas.
Okay.
So feel free
You see my screen fine, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
We can see your
No
screen.
lag. You still hear me? No lag. Everything's good.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So yeah, that's a website I made for Ethan Penner. That's a guy, a big guy from Wall Street. He got a big Wall Street car, and his community team found me on the awards because I made my portfolio like 2 months ago, and they found me and they text me like, okay, Thomas, we like your style, and we want the website with something with 3D. And I was like, okay, what's the deadline? And she say the next month. And I was like, okay, I can do that with Three.js because I need to step up a little bit my skill on Three.js and on Blender as well. I'm not a designer. I'm not a 3D designer. So I was like, okay, there is two solutions. One, I refused to work with you, but the project was really cool for me and for the future. And I was like, okay, there is Spline. There is Spline with Webflow. It was before the big update. So I'm unlucky. I'm a little bit unlucky, but
Yeah.
It's okay. So I open Spline. I just buy the premium state, and I start to build the book. I built one book, two book, three books, and I was like, okay, that's good, but that's not enough. It was a big texture material, so it was not working fine on Webflow, and I was like, okay, I delete everything. I restart from the beginning, and I make this one. So as you can see, the book is in 3D. You can like hover it with a little effect. You can open it with the sound design from Spline as well, and yeah, you can read it. It's like the real book. I don't have the real book, just to know, guys. I never see the real book. I just see the the app, the Apple podcast, and it was just the model on the PDF. And I was like, okay, I'm just gonna take a few pages, the main pages, so the first resume, the title of the book, and yeah, you can turn the page and like the dedicate for the end, because he was talking about his granny, his wife, all these children, and I was like, yeah, sounds good to put in the book, and then you can see the second resume, and that's it. And yeah, you can see it's very responsible. On mobile, they don't want the book and the animation because on mobile it's difficult to make this happen, and that's not very user experience. So on mobile, you just have the Ethan picture in the background, and not anymore the book. And yeah, you can see also the three circle. It's just three circle on the same size, and one is size by default on 10 pixels, and every second it grow on the 20 pixels, and again for the second one. And that's it for the book. And yeah, you can see a small animation on the letters. Yeah, that one. The small animation you can see is from Joseph Berry technique. I saw him do it on the live stream as well. So I was like, okay, that's a good one. I don't have the budget to buy the plugin JSAP to play with later by later. So I was like, okay, we have Webflow, so we can do everything with Webflow. So the second part is made with Slater. Is an inspiration from a tutorial from WebBay. Yeah, you can see, you can scroll and later disappear.
Nice, beautiful.
That one is new because just for the fact is I delivered the website, and like 3 or 4 days later, the Ethan's daughter was not happy about something on the website. You know, it's always it's like a normal client. All clients do that. So it was all the chapters in the same section, and now she wants a drop down. And Slater app helped me a lot to do that because it's made with a custom code as well. The drop down you can see there, right? And it's made with Slater. And so I was delivered the website already, and she asked for change after that. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna change all the chapters and all the animation, but I don't want to touch the live the live link. So Slater helped me to do that, to work on the dev side, then show to the client, and then push on the live. You know.
Right, interesting use case there. So yeah, you could
Yeah.
show it on the staging domain.
You can see Zoom. That's a classic one from JSAP. There's that popping off. Some picture of his success family, success career, success mates. You know.
This is a cool section. How did you
Yeah.
do that? Was that with Slater as well?
No, that's only with the Webflow. Looks like a
Wow.
JSAP one, but
Yeah, it does.
it's full Webflow native. Yeah.
You did that natively in Webflow? That must have taken ages.
Yeah.
Fair
I'll
enough.
show you after that.
Yeah.
And yeah, we go for the club section because this guy and his friends have a club to join to have a successful life and chips and how to invest in somewhere, you know, in the real estate, something like that.
Okay.
And
Okay.
that's the same technique from Joseph Berry to play.
Yeah.
The idea was to play with the O at the H1,
Yeah.
and for that I don't have the right plugin on JSAP, so I made with the Webflow. It's only Webflow right now. All the thing it's made with the Webflow. Yeah,
Cool.
just reload to show you.
Yeah.
Yeah, the O.
There's that little O turning around. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Greatness is a choice.
Yeah. And yeah, the footer.
Really dynamic website. Awesome. And I see you've got there's some big name people that have. I mean, is that Morgan Freeman?
Yeah, that's a big name. Yeah.
Got
Tony
Tony
Robbins. Is a
Robbins.
yeah,
Big
that's
deal. Yeah.
yeah. That's I think he's the best friend, something like that. He's the first testimonial. There is the book, And hey, you can see on the book, right?
Yeah,
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 you can see Tony Robbins is on the book. So that's a big friend from Ethan Penner. And yeah, you got a
yeah.
lot of more. You got a lot of
Big,
more testimonial.
big deal.
Like this one is big one. It's a
Oh,
Dr.
that's
G. Every. Yeah,
yeah. Okay, yeah,
big NBA player. And this one is really, really big. So it's the owner of the team baseball New York Mets. So that's a big one.
yeah. Okay, so these are big money people.
Yeah,
Is that
yeah,
Sharon Osbourne on the right?
yeah, yeah.
Sh-
Cheers.
Sharon's on the website. Wow. Okay, so I'm very intrigued then. So a lot of the stuff that you've got on this website is done natively in Webflow, right? A lot of the animations. And then
Yeah.
what parts of the website did you need to use Slater for in particular? Because there was one part up the drop down menus that you used Slater for that, but was there anything else across the site that you needed to
Yeah,
use
I
Slater for?
used the drop down. I used this one also for appear and disappear the testimonial.
Okay.
Play with that. We can do on Webflow, I think, but it's take me a lot of time. I don't have so much time to deliver this website, so I
Yeah,
do code
sure.
and with the chat GPT, with the
Okay,
Slater.
awesome. And
This one
question
is
for
made with
you.
Slater.
That's Slater as well. Okay, awesome. And just question, I should have asked this earlier. You are not a traditional developer. You don't come from like you haven't studied custom code, have you?
Uh, no, never. I was a waiter for 10 years. I just started coding in 2022. I started coding 2022 and decided to start coding by myself. Uh, I used to, yeah, I do the wagon. I don't know if you know the Le Wagon. It's like a boot camp for code.
Ah,
And,
yeah. Yeah, yeah. Okay, I
yeah,
have heard of this. Sorry.
and I used Webflow for the first time. Was around like 5 or 6 months. I just have 5 months on Webflow.
That is a joke. Okay, cool. So I just think that's important to give people context. You were a waiter for 10 years. Do you say 10 years?
Yeah, 10 years. Yeah, I'm 20 years. I'm 28 years old. Sorry.
You're 28. Okay, cool.
Yeah,
So you're an incredible waiter. I mean, 10 years experience. That is
yeah.
incredible. And then
I do everything. Waiter, barman, like in direction sometimes. But yeah, in French we say chef de rang. It's the real name
Chadron.
of it. Yeah.
Love that. Anything in French sounds beautiful. Okay, so you have a lot of hospitality experience and not a lot of coding experience, but then in only 5 months, you've not only, I mean, okay, so you did Le Wagon, the coding
Mm-hmm.
bootcamp, then you came across Webflow, and then you were like,
Mm-hmm.
ooh, there's some native limitations with Webflow. And so, how do I do that with custom code? And then you found Slater. Is that right? Just to understand like the timeline
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, that's right. That's I do the wagon in July 2022. I stop everything because I didn't get a job or an internship or something like that. And
Okay.
reality is very hard after the bootcamp. You can't be a developer after 3 months. It's impossible. And I
Mm.
was to give up. And in November 2022, Le Wagon invite me on a hackathon, if you know, and I won that hackathon, so I got some buzz, and I got hired by a society, and they there was on WordPress, and when I came, I was say okay, you do WordPress, guys, but let me try Webflow and we'll see what we can do with this tool, okay? And I was like, and this one starts. I just listened the podcast of Florian Baudelot from Digidoc, and Theo Roland, and that was the first day, and it was like March of this year. And
wow, that is
when I
mental.
started Webflow, that was easily from not easily, but I know HTML, I know CSS, I know language, JavaScript, so I was like, okay, that's a cool tool. And when I got the limit of the Webflow, I directly switch on the custom code or on the VS Code, and that's it. And Slater, I'm on the Theo Roland Slack, and I'm quite active in the French community and in the French Webflow community. And Theo had promoted the tool on his YouTube channel, and a few days later, you came on to the co-work live, right? And you show us a Slater app and give us a free access. Do you remember?
Dude, you were there. Okay, awesome.
Yeah, and you give me the free access, and I had a quick conversation with Theo, and the timing was perfect because I just released my portfolio on the world, and this gave me few job offers, and the one I chose was in the creative with the 3D lead, and so I make with client, and I know I'm gonna use some custom codes because I have so many ideas, so I knew that there is custom code needed. So I was like, okay, why not give a Slater a try, and let's go. I make this one.
Okay, damn, there's a lot to discuss there. Okay, waited for 10 years, did a coding boot camp, then found Webflow, then found Slater, came to the live stream that we did with Theo's community. Shout out Theo Roller. And then from there, you're now Slatering. C'est incroyable. Now,
C'est incroyable.
c'est incroyable. I think that's what you would say. So let's talk a little bit about why use Slater instead of VS Code and GitHub Copilot or ChatGPT, or why use Slater?
It's more easily because VS Code, you need to know. I know GitHub, and I know how to create code on VS Code. I know how to push online. I know how to push on Webflow, but there is a lot of things to do. And if it's not a big website to do, I think it's not a good deal. You have a code sandbox to do as well, but that's not a good deal as well because you can't work on dev side. What I was talking about just last minute, and and now is included in the Webflow design. So that's a big point. And the Slater have the ChatGPT 4, and that's a big point for me because I work on recent library, JavaScript library. So when you ask something to ChatGPT 3 about something about like I don't know Swiper.js, ChatGPT 3 is not updated for Swiper.js. He knows slider, but he don't know Swiper, and that's a big difference. And if you have ChatGPT 4, yeah, you can work like with the recent library like GZAP and Swiper.js and a lot of more. But that's a big point for Slater. And you have
Okay.
everything on your hand. You don't have to switch a window, or you have everything on your hand.
Beautiful answer. So it's more streamlined. It's got the most recent ChatGPT, and you can actually choose whether you want ChatGPT 3.5 or 4. And it's made specifically for your Webflow website. So it's super easy to just copy the script, paste it into the body tag of the Webflow website, and it's connected, which is just seamless. So
that's
I'm
crazy.
glad.
That's the first time I use Slater. It was like when I use Vite.js. It's like you save your code. I have the shortcut because I do code, so the command S is like my shortcut, my preferred shortcut. So when you command S on Slater, it's immediately refresh your page on Webflow, and that's a big point, because when you do custom code on Webflow, you have to reload every time and push your site and do that again and again and again and again, and that's terrible for the productivity.
Yeah, it's a big deal that you can just, when you do custom code in the Webflow website, you need to click save, publish every time just to check whether the code is working or not. And you also can't check why it's not working, because it doesn't scan the code to show you what's not, the part that's not working. Awesome. I'm super glad. If anyone in the chat has any questions, please let us know. And if anyone hasn't yet jumped into Slater, get involved, guys. You can see the power of Slater with these examples from Thomas. So, Thomas, can you possibly, can we dive into Slater itself and have a little look at, what is specifically, what are you specifically typing in to get the code? And what is that code specifically doing within your project? Because I think a lot of people are like, oh, cool, Slater, custom code in the Webflow websites. What is the use case for that? What should I specifically to do? Yeah, okay, perfect. Awesome, dude. Well, yeah, I think, so I'm doing a lot of the marketing for Slater, and I think I have done a really bad job at explaining the specific use cases and case studies that people are using Slater for. So let's have a look at that now. So we're currently looking at so the greatness is a choice. You've got everything for the home page, i.e., because there's only one page for the website, if I'm right in, yeah? Okay, so
it's only one page, but just to know, guys, I try to copy and paste all of my code in the custom code of Webflow, and it doesn't work because there is more than
10,000 characters.
Yeah, 10,000. Yeah.
Okay, so that's something important to say, though, that people can just get the code and test it in Slater, and then or at least get the code and check if it should work, and then paste it into the custom code editor in Webflow. But to be honest, you're better off just keeping the custom code in here, because there's no limit, and it's just more seamless, I think, because you don't need to do as much, save, publish, like over in Webflow each time.
Yeah, just press the shortcut Command S, and that's it. That's magic. It's like a VJS. You create a big tool, guys.
Nice. That's awesome to hear. So what are we currently looking at? We'll have some Coke first. Sorry.
So I'm gonna show. I have prepared a few examples because which I found cool and useful for Slater. I don't want to step deep into the details of some more advanced code functions, because I don't want to bore the live. There is no code, real a lot of developer on the live, I think. But I showed two examples. One that is currently on the website, and another that was supposed to be there, but the client preferred the other version. So I personally prefer this one. The client is the boss, so I'll show you. So the first example is about this piece of the code on the zoom effect. That's the classic one. That's the big classic for creative coding. And the fact is here, you see, it's not a width with 100%. No, the picture is not in very high quality, so I can grow in the big screen. So the fact is that with Slater, I wanted to just see where is it? I think that's this one. Okay, image and color. So as you can see, that's the GZAP code, and the Slater helped me to do responsiveness. So as you can see, now we are on desktop, but the client want to have the picture take all of the screen on the mobile. You can switch on mobile mode like this one.
But it's kind of like a square image, right?
And yeah, you can scroll. Oh.
Whoop.
Ooh, hello everyone.
It's kind of scary when that happens, right?
Yeah. So we are in mobile mode now. So
yeah.
As you can see, we can scroll down to the picture and the zoom effect and see the picture. Now take all of the screen and zoom in and take 100% on 8 and 100% on width. The client wanted
but
that.
It zooms in, cutting off the sides, right? Like it crops the image.
So I make the code normal, and after that, I just copy and paste my code in the ChatGPT, and I just ask him to, okay, I have this animation. Now I want to have a limit for this animation. When we are on the maximum width of 1080 pixel, I want to grow my image on 100% and 100% 8. If not, just go the normal animation. You start at 25 rem, 25 rem on 8 and width, and you grow on 60 viewport 8 width, and that's it. And all of this code is Slater from ChatGPT. The if-else condition. It's made with ChatGPT, and it can help on this kind of on solution.
Yeah, definitely. So you had initially you got the GSAP code, and you were like, "Cool, done." And then you were like, "Oh, okay. On different breakpoints, I'm going to need the image to be treated differently." And so that's where you were like, "Hey, Slater, on mobile, or maybe what is it, 720 pixels
tablet
down,
and mobile,
tablet and mobile, yeah. So what's that, 920? On 920 and below, I'm going to need you to treat the image differently so that it's going to be 100% height, and then it's going to be and then what was it? 25 width, 25 rems width, and sorry, can I zoom in?
Yeah. As
25 rem width, 25
on
rem
mobile,
height.
On mobile, he got a width of 100% and 20 rem on 8, and grow and take all the screen. So it take 100% on width and 100% on 8. If not, on the tablet or mobile, then go the normal and start to 25 rem, 25 rem on 8 in width, and stop at the 60 viewport 8 width.
Yeah, okay. This is something that's important to say, though, guys, that you don't necessarily need to use Slater for like crazy everything. It might just be like specific examples like this. There might just be like, I just need a little snippet of code to do something quite specific. So that's a really, really cool example, Thomas, where you're like, okay, I've got the code, it's working, but it's not working across all the breakpoints. So can you just go back to Webflow and just show us how this plays out one more time, just so people can really get a sense of like what's happening? So this is the desktop, obviously, and you've got the image going
and
great,
start 25
and it's
RAM, right?
grayscale as well, right? So
Yeah,
grayscale, 25 rams, zooms in, changes
yeah,
color when it reaches, what is that, like 80% or something, and then there. But then on the mobile, can you go to the mobile now?
yeah, sure.
I just think this is such a cool use case, which is super practical for Slater users. Okay, nice. So 100 goes up, zooms in because the image quality is not very good. So you have to
Yeah,
zoom in, and then we get that full screen. Beautiful. I think it looks better on mobile, like
yeah.
that animation is sick on
Yeah,
mobile.
that animation mobile is better.
Yeah. I mean, it looks good on both, just to be clear, but
Yeah, but
um,
my client don't want to buy a photograph professional for the website. So we do the thing
see,
with the thing,
greatness is a choice. Photography is a choice, but why
Yeah,
not invest if you have
yeah.
clients like Sharon Osbourne paying you big bucks to
I
basically
don't know.
teach them to earn more money? I mean, it's kind of strange, I think. Pay for a
Yeah,
photographer, just do it. Like, why wouldn't you? Anyway, um, still great, like, improvisation from your part, because that's kind of a hard, like, okay, the image quality is not actually very good, so can we, you have to kind of think on your feet. So you did really
yeah,
well there.
yeah. And
Um,
I'm not a designer, so that's a big thing to know. I'm absolutely not a designer. I do
did
the
you
design.
did you do this design?
Yeah, all the website I made is made by me, but I'm not a designer, so I don't have the skills to change the size of an image or to make a big prototype on Figma or something. I
Yeah.
didn't do that. I just
Okay,
thinking the design I do on the paper, and I do on Webflow lately. That's not
dude, awesome.
the best way to do, but so I'm not a designer, so I have to
You
learn.
got you got round the problem. You got round the problem. Let's look at another specific
Yeah,
example. This drop down that you've got going on. I'm intrigued to see that. So for anyone that's just joined the stream and is not knowing what's going on, we've got part 1, part 2, part 3, and
yeah,
they show the chapters when you click on those. Nice.
yeah.
God, there's a lot of
That's
chapters in
made
this book.
with Slater.
That's maybe Slater. Okay, awesome. So let's have a little look at how you've done that.
Yeah. It just I use JSAP for that. It's simple as that. I just call the chapters wrapper 1, chapters wrapper 2, chapters wrapper 3, and just let the by default state is false, and that's it. I just call a listener. So now it's the click, and
Hmm.
when the user click, it just push the state on auto alpha to 0 to 1. No,
Hmm. So that it
you can see
fits
that.
the
Yeah,
content.
yeah, and 8 on auto because we don't have we have like 23 chapters on the part 1 and I don't know 55 on on the part 2. So make the 8 on auto, so there is no problem.
Okay,
On
awesome.
the
So just so we're clear, guys, if you want to trigger something from your Webflow website, you need to name the class, or you can name the attribute. So it will trigger the attribute, or the ID, or the class ID. So you've got basically different ways of
yeah,
connecting Slater to your Webflow project so that the functionality happens. So what Thomas has done is he's named each of the chapters, sorry, each of the
yeah,
titles. What did you name them? Title chapters. That's what you
yeah,
did. And then add event listener means that on click, so add event listener, click, that means that when you've clicked that, it triggers the menu opening and it goes to the height of the content that it's contained within. Have I
yeah,
explained that correctly?
yeah.
That's
Perfect.
right? Perfect.
And
Great.
I have a third example, and that one is not on the website. It's not live, and
Okay,
that's
awesome.
the side I prefer, but the client prefer the first one. So that's for the lodging page. So now we have this one. It's made with the
Great.
Webflow. It's easily to do with Webflow,
Mhm.
and I made this one.
Old Home.
Okay,
Sounds like the name of a pub.
this one.
Yeah.
The idea was to create a code, a motivational code on every lodging on the page. Okay, so I will show you now.
Oh, so this is on the webflow.io domain.
Yeah.
Oh, so it's loading per word.
No, not this one. Not this one. Right.
Ah, sorry. Sorry, dude. Jumping ahead.
Have to come. It's coming. Sorry, guys.
It's all good.
Oh my God, Webflow. Webflow did the same.
I find sometimes you need to click on the Google Auth login instead. Oh no, it's working. It's cool.
Normally it's one. Okay, and now. Okay, yeah, that is one. So
Quote of
as you
the
can
day.
see, every loading on the page, we have a new code, a new motivational code. So now it is better to find an origin than success in imitation. Okay, you can reload. Then you have another one. You see?
Learn as if you live forever. Sorry, carry on.
That is made with the Slater. The part with the animation on the small point there is on Webflow, and the opacity and the display is also on Webflow. The only part made with Slater is to Slater is
The
just
randomized
to
quotes.
just to randomize the code. So that's it. And I made it on Webflow because my client she has nothing. She don't have knowledge on code, so I can't create all of the code on Slater because I don't want to. She can break a line of code, So now I just make the animation and the randomize on Slater, and as she wants, she can go on Webflow and change the codes, and that's it. No,
Yeah, of course. So where are the quotes coming from?
just that. Follow the code.
They're just okay. So they're just stacked there.
Yeah. Again.
Okay.
That.
Nice. So what does the code? What does the code say? Okay, so they're all absolute position.
Yeah, that's just for the test, because she don't want this one, so I haven't finished, but yeah, all of the code is there, so she can go there and change all of the code. She don't have to deep dive in Slater and broke some line of code.
She just changes the text, and then that text will just show differently. Okay, cool. I understand that. So what I am interested in, though, can you show us the code and just so what is Slater doing? Is Slater? Have you asked Slater to show a different quote every time the page reloads?
Yeah. So
and then using cookies to
unload the thing. I just call the class of code of the day, as you can see there, code of the day. They all have the same class. Okay.
Yeah.
And the thing is, I create a var on to do the random. That's some mathematics there. So I take the math, I put a random number random on the codes. If there is a 50 codes, it will be make the random on 50 codes. If I do only the codes, it doesn't work. You just take all of the codes and do a random, and
Okay.
that's it. And he do a loop, and he just display none by default, and
Yeah.
display block. And after that, I do the opacity animation on
In
Webflow.
Webflow.
Yeah, you can see that
Ah.
here.
Okay, so that's super simple. So essentially,
Yeah,
all
yeah,
it's doing is that on page load, it shows a random quote.
yeah,
That's
yeah. Like
literally what you're doing in
the
Slater.
code, yeah, the code is showing. Like as you can refresh, the code is already showing. It's on Webflow. I put an opacity on the code, and I decided to show the code after 3 seconds, and that's it.
Dude, it's so simple, but so effective.
Yeah,
Awesome. I love that. And also, I love the fact that it's like, you tested it super fast to show your client, just combining Webflow and Slater. And it's like, hey, we could do this. And she's like,
mm,
nah, I don't know about that direction. And then you just go on a completely different route, but also using custom code. It's so cool. It's so
mm.
sick. If anyone has any questions, by the way, while we come up to the end of the hour, let us know in the chat. But I think those 3 examples, super powerful, super simple, and like,
Super
real,
simple.
yeah, but like, it's just that little touch that you can do with a little bit of custom code. I think like it's not that you necessarily are like, right, Webflow is not enough. Like, Webflow can be enough. Like, you don't necessarily need to use custom code in your Webflow websites, but it's just bringing that little touch that, might be an animation that you can't do natively, might be a function that you can't necessarily do very easily in Webflow, like the drop down menu that I think looks really tight here, and then that photo that change size depending on the breakpoint. That's just a little bit of custom code that just completely levels up this site. So super,
Yeah.
super effective. If I was to give you control of Slater, so right now I said to you, Thomas, look, you can do whatever you want to do with this product. What changes would you make, or how would you improve it? Maybe what would you take away? Is there something that's too complicated? Tell me about how you would improve the product.
Um, it's a dev side, okay? I'm talking about the dev side, the
Talk
dev,
to me about it.
yeah, customizing. Like, I would like to add more freedom for customizing the interface, like the interface of Slater. Uh, Something like VS Code does with its plugin. You know, you can change the color, you can change the font, you can change
Yeah.
the color of the variables, something like that, just for the user experience. And in the beginning, I had trouble to understand when to publish on the dev side and when to publish on the prod side. Um, you have the small button right there, yeah, to have a drop down. I think to just create two big buttons, like uh, one big
Save to
save
dev,
to dev,
save to
save
production.
prod, and keep it gray by default, and change on the green when it's saved, and will be perfect. I guess. I think Alexandre Tellier has a big trouble to understand when to publish also. So that's happened to me.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay, great feedback. So
And
there's
yeah, one more thing. One more
yeah.
thing. Uh, just to let me push my enter key from my keyboard to chat with ChatGPT. I don't like to have to click on chat.
Great. Okay, awesome. Okay, if there's anyone in the chat that's watching this and is like, I have stuff to say too, let me know. Write it in the chat. Okay, so there's 3 things that you talked about there. There's the customization of your personal dashboard, changing colors, changing font size maybe, and things like that. So like Arc, I see that you're using Arc as your browser. There's some
I use both.
beautiful subtle things that you can do with Arc that just mean that it just levels up your user experience, right? So I love that idea. Second thing we talked about there was the save page versus, so save page drop down to save to production or save to staging domain. Why not just have two buttons that goes green when it's published?
Just
love that idea. Yeah, because you've got the text, but it's not like as visually clear if it just goes green.
I really had trouble to understand.
Yeah. Okay, awesome. And well, not awesome, but good feedback. And then you've got ask a question, just be able to click enter after you've done that, and and then that will be done. That's really interesting feedback. So we've got a bit of UI stuff, we've got a bit of functionality stuff. One thing that you mentioned, Alexandre mentioned actually to me, was that he has a team of people that will be using Slater, and he would like to know who has made what changes. So like if you could potentially see who's in the actual code editor, so there could be like a mouse with a little icon with the name of the person, or some kind of color system which is like, whoever was
be good.
in
I'm alone, so I didn't think about that because I'm alone. But yeah, for a team, that's a big deal to have that.
Big functionality improvement potentially there. Okay, is there anything else that's coming to mind? We've got a couple of people watching along. Feel free to comment about what you could, what would you do if you were head of Slater, if you were Mason Poe. I just snapped my fingers and you woke up as the CEO of Edgar Allan and Slater Product. Let us know in the chat. And for anyone that's just like, what is happening with the Slater roadmap? There's a couple of things. We had a big announcement yesterday. We have got the community library that is actually in beta. Well, the Edgar Allan team are currently using like a very, very basic version of the community library. What is the community library? It's essentially a Wikipedia of all custom code snippets that Webflowers use commonly, so that you can just drag it in and then manipulate that in your own website project that you're using that custom code. So that's going to be super valuable because all the code will be checked by the Edgar Allan team, and then once it's passed the check, it'll go into the library. And the other aspect of that is that we are going to have a Slater Advocates program. And this is basically to reward people that support the Slater community, whether that's writing articles, whether that's creating courses like Theo Roland has done. He's done a 3-part YouTube course on Slater. People that do the spotlight sessions, like Thomas here, who has got the cojones to come on a live stream with me. People that are doing stuff are going to be rewarded, and people that give code snippets to the library. So it's just to say that there are a few big things that are going to change the Slater product and hopefully increase the Slater community. But like you've said there, Thomas, there's a lot of smaller improvements that can make a big difference to the product as well, that is also on the roadmap. Do you have anything to add before we wrap up this stream, Thomas?
No, just thank you, and so just stay tuned. I try to be a good creative developer, so I'm gonna keep my work. And we are not many on live, I think, so I can give you a little spoiler. The website is in a very great position to secure the seat of the day on CSS Design Awards. So just stay tuned, okay?
Come on.
Yeah, hope so.
Hey, Allez le bleu. Incredible scenes. Let's hope that comes to life. And I need to write up an article about these different three examples that you've done from this interview, and I'll post that on the Slater website. So if anyone's watched along and is like, I don't want to watch the whole thing, I just want to know the important information, don't worry, that is coming. Awesome. Where can people follow you on socials, or where can people message you if they have any questions about this spotlight session, Thomas?
Yeah, my LinkedIn is open. I'm quite active on LinkedIn and on Twitter as well. I don't have many followers. I try to be a little bit more famous, but it's more hard than LinkedIn. But yeah, I'm open on both.
Dude, you've been in the Webflow space for 5 months, so
yeah, that's just the beginning. I keep going. Yeah.
You're doing great. You're gonna fly if this is what you're doing in 5 months' time. I am sure. Thanks so much for coming on the live stream. Thanks so much to anyone that watched along and asked questions.
Thanks, everyone.
And support. Dio, Jeff, who do we have? Nimesh, Hippolyte, and he was there with you in I think it's Lagom.
Yeah, I know Hippolyte in real life. That was a colleague on my last job.
Hey, shout out Hippolyte.
He's a web designer as well.
He's a web designer as well. Well,
yeah, but on the dark side, like he's on WordPress, so sorry for him.
Sorry to you. Oh, he's still here. How you doing, man? Thanks, guys. Great WordPress user. Come on. I mean, come to the dark side. Come to the dark side. Or see the light, maybe, would be a better phrase. Anyway, let's wrap this up. You've got a busy life to live, and I've already taken an hour of your time. Thank you so much. Thanks so much for everyone watching, and see you guys at the next Slater Spotlight.
Thank you, everyone. Bye-bye.
Awesome.